Okay, we're back in SquareForge for this tutorial, and this time we're going to create what I call these benefit blocks. So these are pages on your website where you can outline key benefits of a product or service. And in this case, we can see that 6 ChatGPT inspired pieces of content. So that's why it looks a little bit stiff content wise. But what we're going to do is we'll probably take this section here and I'm going to create a new layout in this SquareForge master template. This is available to purchase for $297. Or if you go to squareforge.net, you can just copy any of these designs. They're all built from the ground up using Squarespace without any third-party plugin. This is the design of our Pixel Haze Academy homepage. We redesigned it over the last few months and wanted to kind of modernize it. And this card layout with a statement on each and then an icon in this case, but I'm just going to leave it as a blank image. I will be integrating Google material icons into SquareForge, meaning that if you're on the business plan and up, you will be able to bring these into your designs, any Squarespace website you design. But the only caveat is I know I can get this working on the business plan. I'm not sure 100% whether I can get it working on the free plan. But anyway, enough of introduction. Let's start building this in SquareForge. And I think every other tutorial I've created over the last few weeks, I've said that I'm going to take an existing layout and then I end up deciding to start from scratch. But I think in this case, I am going to copy this section. At least give it a try. Let's see if I can go through on my word on this one. So I just need to move it right the way down. This is the only downside to copying an existing layout. The way you use this, whilst I'm getting this into position, is that you highlight any section, add it as a saved section, meaning that you can add it into any other page. The time you change the color palette, the font selection, and other aspects like how the button layouts are, etc., you will find that you will build, wrong one. You'll find that you'll build Squarespace sites really, really quickly. So I'm going to put it here and I'm going to edit this section and I'm going to go for dark 2 as my color palette. You notice that these are all monochromatic. That's 100% deliberate because what I want to do is to make sure that we don't get biased by colors or font selection. So I've gone with a very neutral sans serif font and the same monochromatic color palette throughout. That means by the time you add your own color palette, it really does come to life and you add your own images and icons. Yeah. So let's have a look at what we've got here making up this layout. We've got a shape, then we've got an image block within the shape, and then we've got a title. Quite simple. And then we've got rounded corners. I think I'm going to go with 30 probably on both, maybe 20 on the interior one, because we want this radius here to match this one here. So that will be the same on both, I believe. So let's have a look. We've got the image ready. We've got the text. So the first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of everything bar the title, because these are shortcut cards. Now, normally what I would do is create these one at a time, get it working on mobile, and then replicate it or duplicate it across for all 3. I'll probably end up doing that, but I'm not going to redo the text blocks. So it'll be a bit of a mishmash of the 2 approaches. I'm going to go to shape. I'm definitely going to replicate or duplicate the shapes here. So that's shape 1. Let's bring this down and have a look here. So this is taking up less space. And actually that's a column 4 column widths. Yeah, we're going to go with 4. So it's a 24 column grid. So we want it 6, 12, 18, 24, if that makes sense. So split it into quarters, and we know then that that card is the right size. Now we can go to the pencil icon. We're going to get the rounded corners on it. This option here will allow you to change the corners on just one, or the radius on one corner, if I can speak properly. This default option here allows you to put a radius on all corners. So if you wanted to create a teardrop shape, so it was curved on 3 and then straight on 1 to a point, that would work really well. And I've done that in previous tutorials. We can see that there's something going on behind there. That's just because the image is there. So I'm just going to move the shape to the back. And I'm also going to change the color of this. And I'm going to change it to black, I think. I'm going to bring this up then in that position there. I've got choices now. I can align it to the bottom, to the top, or to the center. Center is going to be messy because it's going to be in different positions at all times. So what I'm going to do is align this to the bottom. And then what will happen is that the starting point will be different on each block, but then the bottom will be the same. Okay, that's pretty much the first one. I just need to go and put a rounded corner on this image block. You can see it's just a colored card there. That's absolutely fine. We're not looking to do anything. We're not going to put an image in or an icon in this case. So I'm just going to see, we can see here that the same radius of 30 looks bigger relative to the shape. That's because it is. So what we're going to do is change this one to maybe 20 radius. Yeah, and that looks better. We also want to make sure that we set it to fit. So that will keep that image perfectly square. Because it will fill. That's not perfectly square, the frame. So that's why we want to adjust that as well. I could decide here to change this to, say, a heading 4. And then drop the bold. And I think that looks quite nice. Okay, just going to move these over here out the way for now. Because what we are going to do is replicate this, and then I'm just going to retype out the other headings whilst I've still got them here. So let's go to mobile view. And we can see we've got a lot of work to do here. In fact, this one above, I need to fix as well. That one slipped through our testing process. So that's not sure how that's got through, but that'll be my job afterwards. Squarespace block. It's a real thing. You have to leave in an hour, yet you're staring at a blank screen. The deadline will come and go once again. Coffee just isn't making a dent. You feel boxed in and out of ideas. We adore Squarespace and have successfully completed over 500 projects with the website builder. Yet we are not immune to the dreaded Squarespace block, staring at the screen, hoping for something to magically materialize. We have scoured the internet for the ideal wireframing tool and have come up empty. We adored the Squarespace section designs in the early days, but after hundreds of uses, they became stale. If I see that bloody landscape one more time. We've searched for, built, and even designed our own Squarespace templates, yet found them inflexible, restricting our design process. Instead of heading down the road to despair, we decided to course correct and build the mother of all Squarespace templates, a platform we could use over and over again, one that boosted creativity and saved us a huge amount of time. In our moment of despair, we forged SquareForge. If you need to freshen up your designs, save a heap of time, and, like us, don't want to move away from your favorite website builder, then we have built something that breaks the mold. And we know we have something amazing. And it's not because we're amazing, we're pretty boring. We know we have an incredible tool in our hands because we have used it over 50 times this year alone. We have built SquareForge from the ground up, pouring in over 20 years of web design expertise into a product that would work for us. We didn't even plan on selling it. SquareForge has saved us over 40% of our build time and ensures no website looks the same. It's time to say goodbye to Squarespace Block and hello to SquareForge. Let's build great big things. Bring that to front. I'm going to align it to top. This is independent on desktop and mobile. There we go. I'm going to make it slightly bigger. And again, bring this title to the front. And there we go. That's now working on mobile. I could decide to just bring it down one more block. Bring that container up. And then so it matches in some ways to the desktop. And on mobile, we can make that icon bigger because we're not fighting for the same vertical space. Okay. That block now is complete on desktop and mobile. Does look better when we put an image or an icon in there. Now we have the second one. I'm going to start typing after the first character. And then I remove the first character. Got to make sure I do that first. Not sure why it wasn't letting me select that. I'm going to get rid of this one now. Bring that over here out of the way. Add the third. The reason I am doing this is that it keeps the styling. Well, sometimes if I just delete the text and enter it in, it will just change it to a completely different heading or paragraph block, which is frustrating. Tell you what, I'll do that on the fourth one, and then it'll probably work first time. But let's go add that fourth block in, and I need leadership empowerment. If there's ever a title that sounds like ChatGPT, that would be it. Okay, so 2 of these text blocks, that worked first time there. So I think it's safe to say you can just ignore me. So I'm making those text blocks the same size. And the beauty of this now, when you use this in SquareForge, again, 297 available at squareforge.net, you don't need to worry about rebuilding any of this from the ground up. If you're on tight budget at the moment or you're unsure, have a go at building it yourself. Final step, we're going to go back to mobile. And now we're going to adjust the starting position of these blocks. They should all be identical. It's just that the gaps between them, Squarespace doesn't know quite what to do with it. It could be a little bit better with this, I'm being honest, but it's not a major headache. As you can see, we've already fixed those 4 benefit blocks. Okay, so now we have a new layout. One thing I want to do at the end here is just move it down to the bottom. There's a little issue at the moment when I've got the bottom block. You can see the add block is in the block above, so I can't select it. That's because we've added these tags here to show you which sections are in. The reason we've done that is we're starting to build template structures for SquareForge, meaning that we've got advised combinations of all these structures to create a website. And then what we're doing at the moment in the background is designing new templates based on SquareForge. So you don't have to buy multiple templates. You can just buy SquareForge, and then we give you what we call in blueprints that you can use combinations of these for multiple pages to really build out some really iconic looking pages. And I'm creating tutorials alongside that to talk you through it. But there we go. So I need to fix this because I'm really not happy with that particular layout because I've not done that on mobile. I think that's the best point. Leave me here. I'll get that fixed and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.